What are we rolling on this week?
I don't know. How you been?
I think it's gonna be more interesting to talk about how you've been because you kind of made like a series of announcements last time you were on.
Oh yeah, what were those?
So, well, I'll tell you them while we go to the theme. This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
And that someone else is Nathaniel.
He's back after a month and a half absence.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, it feels like it's been no time because everything around me has just been a whirlwind continuously.
Yeah, so what's going on?
Um, Being a teacher is exhausting. Yeah. I don't know what to say much more about it than that. It's just so exhausting. Uh,
Have you done, I think I asked this when you, like last time you were on when you were just, getting
mm.
into your teaching, but have you done the thing where you turn the chair around and sit in front of the class, talk about how you relate to them?
Not with the chair so much, but
Okay.
sometimes, you know, try to connect. Like, I don't know.
You have to do it at least ironically at one point.
Sure, sure. Um, yeah, I don't even know what I was supposed to say. It's just, yeah. Uh, it's tiring. That's a lot of work. Um, just some stuff's going on at the school right now, to where experienced teachers are saying like you're putting a lot on us, and we're getting overwhelmed, and they're like telling administration that, and you know, uh, I'm new, so I don't know anything about how it's supposed to work. So I'm glad that they're saying that, and it makes me feel a little better that I feel so overwhelmed because, at least other people feel that way too. It's not like, oh, I just like completely suck at this. It's like I'm new and I'm not supposed to be good or efficient at it yet. And they're just putting a lot of stuff on everybody. And I'm getting a pass on a lot of stuff because I'm new, don't get me wrong. And it's not like I'm not aware of that, but yeah. Um, but even aside from all that stuff, just dealing with 14-year-olds all day is brutal, man. They're, you know,
Hormones, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
okay, a lot of them have like pretty decent like personalities and stuff, which is like fun, but it's just like exhausting. There's like one of my blocks, there's literally no point in time. Like no, I don't think no matter what I do, I could get them to all like stop talking at once. So, like two sides of the room will just be like always chatting it up, and when I like look at one side of the room, it's like make eye contact with people to get them to stop. The other side starts up, and then if I like look over there too, by the time I fucking look away from the first side, they start talking again, and I'm just like, damn. And I don't care that they're talking, but when it's like distracting to other kids and me, it's too much, and they just don't give a fuck. And a lot of them, oh my god, there's just crazy shit where like I tell everybody to go to the bathroom before class, and like I might write a pass to go to the bathroom if like we're doing like work stuff and I'm not lecturing or I'm not busy, like, immediately like doing teacher stuff. So I hand out a quiz, and they knew the quiz was coming that day. We spent the beginning of the class like, going over stuff, prepping for it a little. And the second I hand out this quiz, this kid's like, "Can I go to the bathroom?" And I was like, "No, you can go when you finish the quiz. You can't see the quiz and then immediately go to the bathroom. I'm not
Well,
stupid,
how else is
right?"
he going to get the answers in the bathroom? That his
Yeah, I
friend
know,
texts to
right?
him.
So yeah, instead of just like turning the quiz in blank so he can go to the bathroom, which if he actually had to go would make sense, or trying to fill in the quiz at all, he just pouts there and till the end of the block, and then doesn't go to the bathroom and doesn't touch the quiz at all. And that's just so stupid. And I have to deal with little things like that all the time. To where it's like, I don't know what is going on in your brain right now, but like that It just doesn't even make sense. I don't know what you think you're doing. And then also something I didn't realize until being in this spot is that kids think that the teachers like care about like stupid stuff, but like I don't. You know what I mean? I
What
care
students?
about, I don't know how to describe it. I care about like the kids like doing well in life and making sure everything's okay with them and they're learning. But uh I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. They just think, I mean, okay, here's maybe a good way to put it. Since they don't know me outside of like being the teacher, they think that I'm just like always that, you know?
Well, you are.
No, I'm not. And that's just like extra funny from like my perspective, like now. And I was probably also that way, right? Like, I don't know. I remember being like a junior taking calculus, and the teacher that I had for math like kept moving up in the math department with like at the same pace as the students. So I had her for like 3 or 4 classes in a row. And like she was cool and glad she was my teacher. But I remember junior year, and at that point she had been my teacher for a year and a half. I started to learn some like background details about her life, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I would have never guessed. Like I didn't think about this. Like I was just like learning more about her as a person was just like, eye opening. And so I don't know if that's like a good or bad thing to like encourage. I get why it's not, but also it's just nice to, I don't know, give the kids some perspective.
So you're struggling to relate to them.
Well, I mean, not relative to like other teachers. Like, I don't know. They just don't want to
Again,
do, they don't want to do the math also. And like, that's fine. But it's just like, I don't know. Whenever I hear people say like, why don't they teach taxes in school or some shit? I'm just like, this person can't even fucking graph like the intercept point. Like, how the fuck are we gonna teach them taxes? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I did learn how to fill out a 1040 EZ in AP economics because I was like kind of ready for it. But like, the issue that they're describing should be more so with like the fact that it's pretty complicated to fill out taxes, and not that they don't teach it in schools. They don't teach it in schools because I would say like 60% of the kids that I have, I'm guessing, by the time they're ready to graduate, would not be able to like understand the math behind like what is going on with taxes. So how the fuck are you going to teach it to them when they don't have those fundamentals? I don't know. It's just bizarre. Like so many of them just don't give a fuck. And I'm like, you're going to like maybe not even graduate. And if you do barely, and you're going to have like no job prospects. And I just don't understand like why you're not concerned about that. Weird.
well, sounds like a lot of fun.
A lot of times it is a lot of fun. I want to clarify that. But it's just also, yeah, it's just such a roller coaster. I said everything's a whirlwind before, and that's true. It's just like some days in the same week will be like fucking awesome, and then other days will be fucking terrible. And it'll be like 2 days apart. And I'm like, what changed? Like, but the kids are just all over the place and inconsistent, and maybe I am a little too. So yeah, but all that being said, even though there are a lot of like good fun moments, it's also a little scary to see kind of like the underbelly of our education system operates, and how, I mean, it's wild I'm here in the first place. I'm a smart dude, but I don't know if I'm like, what's the word? Qualified to be doing this. I'm doing my best, and at least my heart's in it. But yeah, it's crazy.
Are there any secrets you'd like to reveal about at least the state education system? I don't know. Just throwing darts
No,
here.
I still don't really like know anything. I'm just kind of like doing what I think I'm supposed to be doing. Oh,
Let's talk
I
about the.
will say my onboarding process was pretty like sparse. As in, I just kind of showed up and they were like, "All right, go do it," and I was like, "What?" And then little things got added on here and there to clarify exactly what's going on. But
Well, also
there,
you started late.
yeah, I did start 2 weeks in, so that didn't help. You're not wrong,
It's a
but
bad look, even if the students obviously don't know why. So, but it's already a bad look on you too.
what do you mean?
Like they're probably like, man, this guy can't even start on time, stuff like that. Maybe they know
No,
why or why
they
not.
had a different teacher for the first 2 weeks, and from my understanding, she just kind of went AWOL.
Hmm.
So weird. So I think their perception would be more like, yeah, that teacher just disappeared, and now
You,
we have this
you got an
guy.
upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like when you're at the rental car place, and then you go to your car and like the check engine light's on, so they give you a little upgrade.
So, do you want to talk about any good things that happened before we wrap up this
Um,
clinic?
okay, I have about 100 students total, a little more. I would say there are about 8 of them who are just fucking awesome. And like I'm so happy they're in my classes and they're making my experience like great. And like I don't know. I don't want to get too detailed with that, but I'll just say, there are just some times where like one kid says like, "Oh, the activity we did today like helped me get it." And you just got to fucking take those wins when you get them. It's not like I'm gonna enlighten all these kids, especially when so many of them like don't even want to be helped. I'll still, give them the opportunity, but yeah, but whenever anything good happens, it feels like such a massive win, which is maybe a little depressing to have that attitude, but it's true. Anything good is just the best thing ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we can stop talking about your job,
Okay.
unless there's anything else you wanted to cover. Sounds like you're getting used to it, though. Starting to figure it out.
Maybe. We'll
Maybe
see.
not.
I'm glad I have a kind of like what's it called? End date, I guess, or thing, or it's just like, it's not indefinite. That'd be scary.
Uh, yeah, I guess so.
If I was like, if I thought, if it was like I have to turn this into my career, that would be very intimidating.
You don't think you'd figure it out in the long run? Or maybe choose a different
No, it's not that
class?
yeah, okay. Actually, that's a good point. Um, yeah, yeah. If after a while I got to a point where I was doing like AP Calc with like juniors, that would probably be a lot better. Um, but yeah, just both with the content and with a good chunk of the kids that I have. Again, not all of them, just some of them. It's just a little depressing and exhausting all the time.
Have you gotten involved in like extracurriculars? Because I know a lot of
uh,
teachers like that.
Apparently, I'm the chess club sponsor, but I haven't done anything, and I don't know if I have to, and I haven't really had the bandwidth for it, so I don't know.
On paper, you're the chess club sponsor.
Yeah, theoretically. If someone's trying to contact the chess club sponsor, that would be me.
You've never seen the chess club before, but you sponsor them.
I don't think there's ever been one. I don't know why it was on the list, but
What?
on
There
that
isn't
note,
even a
though,
chess club? Is this some like fake club that's actually being used for like something illegal or something?
not that I'm aware of. I should find out that that's not the case since I'm
You
the
might want to make sure
sponsor.
it's not some money laundering scheme called
I don't
chess
think it
club.
is. I don't think there's any money going in or out, so it's hard to
Oh,
launder nothing. Wait, on that note, though, I hit 2,000 ELO in 10-0 the other day.
hmm.
That's fucking good.
We'll transition to money talk. Yeah. Uh, I mean, we could talk about money.
Wait, what?
Oh, I misheard you. Chess. Let's talk about chess.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you playing a lot of online chess? I guess you are.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'll just be honest. Since like Queen's Gambit came out, I've kind of just been like yamming it. But that was a while ago at this point, right?
Summer, right?
Last summer.
Last summer?
Yeah, like summer 20.
I'll get it for you.
Wait.
October, last October.
Okay, so yeah. Oh my God, a year ago. Wow, I fucking nailed it. Yeah,
Almost to the date, yeah. Well,
yeah.
well, by the time
Spooky.
this comes out, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. Okay, so a lot of people when that came out, right? They were like, "Oh, chess looks fucking sick. I'm gonna learn chess." And then I feel like a lot of people fell off. But I, I've been playing chess off and on like my whole life. And so when Queen's Gambit came out, I was on a little bit of like a playing less frequently run. So I saw that, and then I don't know. I did get juiced up a little bit, just like everyone else, and immediately my rating went up like 150 points. It was crazy. And then I just wanted to keep at it, and so I brushed up on my opening theory again, and I learned some new, really tricky stuff to where if my opponent doesn't know what's going on as well as I do, which is hard for them to know what's going on as well as I do because I've prepared for it super thoroughly, and they might accidentally just stumble into that position. Then I have like a lot of tricks and just way more comfort with the position, which is like really valuable. So I just kind of kept going at it, and then you know develop I encounter new situations where I'm like, oh, I didn't really know what to do there. Every game I play, I review it afterwards to like make sure I know what's going on. And again, just like slowly adding on new techniques and tricks and lines and just feeling more and more comfortable. So yeah, the other day I hit 2000 ELO, which means if I do that in FIDE rated stuff and do a handful of other things, I would qualify to be a candidates master, which is like the entitled. 2000 is the minimum rating you can have, and you have to do other stuff. But if you hit 2200, you're automatically a candidates master. So yeah, the road's not. I'm not at the end of the road yet, but yeah, at some point, I can't remember when in that whole timeline of things I was describing I decided this, but I was like, I'm gonna fucking get titled. Like, I want to officially be like a chess master. So yeah. Hopefully
Is
I'll keep
chess
it
the
up.
next career path for you?
No, I could never. Yeah,
Or you gonna
taking
start
on
playing Russians?
taking on this part of the bell curve has been really difficult. So I can't imagine getting to the point of like GM. Like, I'm starting to understand how they see the game a little more, and it's just insane. And yeah, I'm not saying I could never get there, but Jesus, it would take so much effort. And I just have more uh, interesting and lucrative paths to explore. But I do want to be titled, and I want to, maybe even get to FM one day. I don't know. It'd be cool.
Okay.
hmm It is certainly okay. I agree.
That's fine. Nothing wrong
It's
with it.
totally cool. But yeah, you can call me Mr. 2K now. So,
After 2K? Maybe I won't, but
oh, well, you can.
okay. Let's see. I'm trying to
Well,
find.
just to round it out, my law school apps are going pretty well. Yep, just touching up my personal statements, My resume looks clean. Actually, only one of my 3 rec letter people have actually turned it in. I had expressed I was hoping that it would be good to go on the first. Well, except Justin, because we both got busy, mainly
Screw
me.
him, right?
And so I met with him late. No, what just a great guy all the time, you know? So anyway, fall break for like the school is the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. So we'll get a Thursday, Friday, Monday off. And so yeah, I'm planning to just yam it all out, then finish up some supplemental stuff. Hopefully, get those rec letters in and just let the universe take hold at that point.
Next year, right?
Yeah, I would be starting
Next fall.
September 22.
Well, good luck with that. I guess you're getting by on this 1-year teaching adventure. Hopefully you learn something about it, life-wise, I guess.
Oh, dude, I already have. Like, I can't remember if I said this last time, but I asked for help more times in the first 3 days of my job than I had the rest of my life combined. So it was just
teaching you humility.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time. And I mean, additionally, I don't know if I've said this line on the podcast last time. Sorry if I'm repeating, but I've never tried so hard only to be so mediocre at something.
That's what I do all the time. So
I mean, yeah, it's just like I just try so hard, and it's still just like very middling. So.
Could just be something you chose this job because it was related to what you had done in the past.
Yeah, vaguely.
Are you running your classes in the way that you wanted to?
No, absolutely doesn't work.
You gave up on that.
Yeah.
That was pretty quick.
Sometimes a little, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough because it's block schedule. Yeah, I feel like if it was 50-minute days, then maybe it would work. Because plus sessions are just only an hour, and so if I try to run it like that, I don't know. It'd be hard to just keep going, like, and to hold everybody's attention for that long and stuff. And also, yeah, okay, whatever. It's just not quite the same. So, but I did try for a little bit, and yeah, quickly I realized it's just like they're not receptive to this.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't know why I keep saying that.
Well, it's not wrong.
Anything else you wanted to cover today? I thought I had something for us to go over. But...
Yeah, update on the bet with Drew.
Okay.
That I made last time. So, Emmanuel Sanders. So wait, no injuries so far, so that's great. Haven't had to break down the quarter by quarter thing. Emmanuel Sanders so far has 11 receptions, and Cole Beasley has 11 receptions in the last game. He has 23 total. So, still got the whole season to be played. But
what was the bet? I'm trying to remember.
It was between so Drew was just shitting on Cole Beasley, and I was like, okay, but he's actually kind of good though. And so he was like, randomly, he was like, yeah, I'm sure a receiver like Emmanuel Sanders is better. And then we were like, he's on the Bills now. And he was like, oh. So I was like, well, now on the same team. So we bet who would have more receptions. And then he was really worried about injury and all this shit. And so I said I would break it down by quarter. So if there was a quarter that Emmanuel Sanders missed because of injury, then we would not count that quarter. in the total, and it would be like, receptions per quarter. And then also I gave him, if Cole Beasley missed time because of COVID, that would count against Cole Beasley. So even if the COVID thing got in the way, it would benefit him, and I wouldn't get a Joe free card.
Why
for that, right?
didn't you guys? I was clearly here for this bet, but why didn't you guys just do receptions per game? Just because you're worried about them leaving early or something?
Well, yeah. Well, that was more for me to.
The quarter thing is just so convoluted.
No. Well, think about it like this. Well, okay, because here's how it went. I said if Emmanuel Sanders got injured at any quarter, then that quarter wouldn't count. So, for example, if he gets 3 receptions in the first quarter of a game and then leaves with 2 minutes left with a leg injury, he would get the receptions, but I wouldn't count that quarter in the denominator per quarter. I didn't want to do that with a whole game, though.
Okay, yeah. It just requires a little more work.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, God. This is going to be awful podcasting, but wait, is there a way for me to share my screen?
You can just go to share screen.
Where's oh my gosh. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
So, wait one sec.
No idea what he's about to share.
Okay, no, it's cool.
All right, it's just a white
Yeah, it's pink.
background
Okay.
on pink.
So okay, here's the dilemma. My fantasy football league, every two guys using different formulas do power rankings every week, right? Because it's a fun thing that leagues like to do sometimes, right?
Okay.
Please, okay.
Sorry.
Wait, you've never had someone do power rankings for any of your fantasy leagues?
Oh, I do the power rankings.
Yeah. Okay, great. Here's a question for you. How much does record factor into the power rankings?
It has no factor into my ranking.
Oh, how do you do the rankings then?
It's all just based on points. And then,
Okay, but how?
well, so it depends on, yeah, that was a point of contention. It was initially, I guess, so it's different. Okay, how should I say this? Early in the season, it's pretty tough to do power rankings, obviously.
Yeah.
Like after 1 week or whatever. And so I think it's just like total points after like the first 3 weeks. But once you get past that, you can do like a weighted, you just weight the points by week, right? So where, the week that you're in or the previous week counts more than like the first week of the season. Just like a time weighted thing. Similar to how like Football Outsiders has weighted DVOA, which accounts for like later in the season, that puts more weight toward later in the season. Same thing here. So you can just use like a discount factor, if you will, by like 10%.
Okay, I see where that's coming from, but hear me out here.
It's very basic.
Okay, so here's the two numbers that I'm trying to grapple with, right? I think average points matters significantly, or like, total points divided by games, same thing. But then also standard deviation, right? Are you varying a significant amount week to week, or are you consistently putting up however many points? All right. So anyway, sorry, to go back to why I asked that question. Both the power rankings for our league, like record is about like 50% of the weighting. And someone pointed out like that's stupid because, you could just get lucky and have a good record. And I know that at the end of the day, that's like what's like gets you into the playoffs and stuff. But the power rankings are supposed to be unique from the ranking in the league, right? There's only like 10 of us. So if record is too heavily weighted, the power rankings are just going to align with the placement in the league rankings, right? And
yeah, it's basically if you want the standings,
are supposed to be.
Yeah, if you want the standings, you can look at the standings.
Okay, so you ready?
Okay.
This is where we're going to start drawing, and this is going to be awful podcasting, but hopefully you'll get what I'm saying, right? Okay, so let's make just like a little graph. Let's say that a team is going to score how many weeks are in the regular season? 13 for fantasy?
13, yeah.
14.
No, 14, because extra week.
Okay, so let's say that a team is going to score 1,400 points in the season, period. Like, we know that's true, okay? So let's say the x-axis here is standard deviation, all right? And we want the y-axis to be their percent chance of winning the league, okay? Is this making sense?
Yeah.
All right, so if they have 0 standard deviation, they put up exactly 100 points every week. Well, the league average is like, I don't know, 130 for us, something like that. They're going to not make the playoffs. So that means that their odds of winning, if their standard deviation is 0, is very low. On the other extreme, and I know this isn't possible, but for the sake of math, hear me out. If they scored all 1,400 points in 1 week and then scored 0 the rest of the weeks as to maximize their standard deviation, they would win 1 week for sure, and then they would guaranteed lose the rest. So so if standard deviation is, off the chart, that's also giving them a 0% chance of winning, right?
Okay.
But now, if you go somewhere in between those, right? And again, for 1,400 points, 100 points a week on average is not very good. So the curve might not go so high, but it's gonna look something like this, right? It's gonna be kind of bell curvy, with probably a longer tail. But we're assuming the other 0 point is like the extreme. But really, it should kind of look like a bell curve, right? If your standard deviation is too low or too high, you don't really have a chance of winning enough games to make the playoffs and then win the championship. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, so here's what's going on. This initial curve that I drew, though, this upside down U curve, is going to be an isoquant line for 1,400 points. So what that means is if another team is going to score 1,600 points over the course of the season, their curve might look something like this, right?
Oh, you'll describe it to the audience.
So it's a similar bell curve, except the maximum points is higher up than the previous one, because if you score more points, your odds of winning the league go higher if you have the same standard deviation percentage. Okay.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing that I realized, and this was the crux of where things started to turn for me. The most points anyone has ever scored in a single week in our fantasy league was 213.33. So what this means is that if you are averaging 213.34 points a week, assuming that, no one has an outlandish week and breaks that record on the week of championship week, if your standard deviation is 0, you should win the league because you're scoring the highest anyone's ever scored every single week. Does that make sense?
Okay. Sure.
So what that means is the bell curve gets pushed so that the center gets closer and closer to the y-axis as you score more points. Because on the same token, just to take it to another extreme, again, or not, I guess it's not an extreme, but another just example of that. Since our league average is about 130, if you're scoring 180 points a week, you don't want your standard deviation to be super high because you don't want it to be like, 50 points standard deviation so that 37% of the time you're losing to the league average or whatever the number is. You want it to be very close, tight to that 180 so that you're consistently scoring just an obscene number of points, and it's very random weeks that someone happens to score more than that. But if you're consistently putting up 180, then you're just going to be dunking on everybody. And again, your odds of winning the league are pretty high. So with all that in mind, I was like, how do I turn this into power ranking? And that stuff has proven to be difficult and a little more subjective than I was hoping. But basically my goal is to take the standard or like the bell curve formula, which is like, 1 over standard deviation times square root of 2 pi times e to the negative x minus mu squared over 2 standard deviation squared. Yeah. I'm going to take that and then modify it, right? So that like the center points is at like the highest anyone's ever scored in the league. And then the last point though I need to figure out is what's the formula for like the differential between like the optimal standard deviation given your average points per week and what your actual standard deviation is. And that's where it gets a little more subjective, right? Like I don't have a good answer to if someone's scoring 160 points a week, what's their optimal standard deviation win the league?
I will say related,
yeah,
but not the same. Another player in my league basically used basically predicted outcome, created a model to predict outcomes of matchups
yeah,
based on like historical mean and standard deviation and stuff.
yeah,
Basically give you a percent chance. This is for baseball. Football does a better job. It'll tell you like your projected points and all that, right? I think on most sites do that. They'll tell you your project like how much you're projected to win.
I mean, the projections
Basically,
are always shit, but
yeah, sure, but they do it is what my point. They don't do it for baseball. So the guy in my league basically did that for baseball and will tell you like, oh, you have a 60%. He even did for the playoffs. He created a whole bracket with the percent chance to win.
damn.
I don't know how accurate it was, given the team that won had a 6% chance to win the championship at the beginning of the playoffs. So.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean with the sample size that low, the way you can tell if it's good is if you do it over a bunch of.
What's funny, I did some like postseason analysis, like rank versus points, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'd expect like the teams with the lowest rank, or how should I say this? Lowest absolute value rank, so like 1, 2, 3, whatever. Like best rank to have the most points, right? And for the most part, that worked out. Except for the team that won the championship, they were like middle of the pack in points. So I showed a graph on my thing. I was like, look for the outlier. Just big red circle on the team that won. A little funny. But anyway, yeah. So he basically used points and standard deviation to figure out that sort of stuff. And you can even do that to figure out how lucky you are too each week. Like how many teams, based on your points, how many teams would you have beaten, compared to the rest of the league in that given week?
Yeah. Because that's where taking totals feels bad. Like, what am I trying to say? If you play someone who puts up 200 in our league, independent of what you score, that's going to add 200 to your points against at the end of the season. But if you scored 180 that week, that fucking sucks for you. But if you had a shit week and you scored under 100, then it's not like it mattered anyway. But just summing up all the numbers doesn't tell the story like that, right? So
yeah, I don't use points against.
Yeah, but I was just giving an example. So here's another thing that I think is fucking bizarre. With all this data and all this cool shit, and people who play fantasy sports are usually fucking numbers nerds, right? Maybe like a blend of like meathead likes numbers, right? So when all these platforms have all this data, why don't they fucking do anything with it?
I'm a little surprised there isn't more fantasy analytics.
Well, no. And I'm not talking about a per player basis. Here's what I'm saying. Let's sum up all the points that every team in my league scores this week. And I want NFL.com to tell me, hey, your league was top 10% of all PPR leagues this week. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they could do that too. That's not even that's just counting. Yeah.
No, I know. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even need analytics. I literally just want them to like share the fucking data because that's cool.
Maybe
is
they
not
don't
interested
think
in that?
People want it. Yeah, I guess they don't think that there's interest in it.
Who wouldn't want that? And also, the thing where I don't, okay, it's so easy. It's so easy. Who cares if no one wants it? If fucking 10 people wanted it, like, it takes some fucking intern 15 seconds to write, like, a fucking macro to pump this out every week. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy.
You probably don't even need to do it every week. You write it's probably a one-time script.
Oh, yeah, and it updates or something. I don't know how it gets that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I assumed you would run the macro every week because it's an intern. But yeah. So anyway, I wish there was more fucking data around that. Wait, oh my gosh, wait. Have we not talked since my draft?
I think we talked in August, so probably not.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you want to hear how my draft went?
Okay.
All right, let me pull up. Okay, so actually, okay, 10-team league. So we'll go through. Do you want to guess? Are you a guesser? I love guessing, so I
I
would love to.
don't know how to guess this. It's
No, I
been
would just.
too long since
What do you mean?
the draft, I guess. It would be tough for me to guess. Like, I'd have to pull up a list of ADP.
Okay. Well, here, let's at least do the first one because we were kind of okay. So you ready? I had pick five. It went CMC, Kamara, Cook, Henry, and then it was me. Who do you think I picked?
Merritt, Cook, Henry.
The big four running backs, just like I expected, and it all went
Yeah.
according to plan.
So, what did we discuss? I, you had to go. You went running back. Did you go? Look at position first. Did you get running? Did you get a running back?
I'm not telling you that.
Okay.
What, dude? Come on.
I'm trying to remember who we talked about. Did you get Eckler?
I did pick Eckler. Great fucking
I
uh,
guess.
great guess. Yeah. Because here's the thing. In all my mocks, here's what I realized. My second pick, I was gonna get a wide receiver for sure because there were three really good receivers in my rankings that were at 16, 17, 18. So there was no way that people were gonna reach for all three. And if they did, then fuck it. I get two running backs with my first two picks that are up there. I'm not gonna complain. I'll find wide receiver value later. So yeah, I just felt like I had to take a running back over Devontae Adams there because I knew there was a 99% chance I was going to get a receiver with my second pick, and I did. You want to do you want to guess or you want to be done?
Did you get Diggs?
No, he was already gone actually.
Okay, he was gone.
Adams and Diggs were the only receivers picked when I off the board.
Okay.
When
That's good context. So Tyreek Hill.
I did pick Tyreek Hill. Nice.
I assumed he would have been gone by then. That's why I didn't guess him.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. I had a feeling. I looked at the things and I was like, I think he might be there at 16. And if he wasn't, then I was going to be fine picking up Ridley or Hopkins. But he was there, so no problem.
That
All right.
man is a mess this year.
Yeah, I got lucky. Well, I don't know. Maybe Hopkins would be better. But he disappears some games now because they have so many options there. So whatever. I'll take the boom or bust. All right. All right, third pick. I don't even know how to contextualize it. So I picked CEH
Yeah.
with my third pick.
Ooh.
I mean, he had a good
Doesn't
week
look
last
good
week.
now.
Well,
Huh?
I mean, I kind of, yeah. No, it doesn't. I wish
It's
I had
just
reached for David Montgomery, but I was hoping he might fall to the fourth. I thought there was a chance. He did not. So I got greedy. If I had to do it over again, knowing what I knew, I wouldn't change much about my draft, honestly, but I wouldn't pick CEH there. I would have picked David Montgomery. So, hey,
it's just I
it
don't
happens.
know if Edwards-Helaire is good. Like just a good NFL running back.
I mean, oh, wait. Oh my God, my memory's so bad. David Montgomery was already off the board. I mean, okay, whatever. He had 100 yards last game. And plus, another thing that I was considering with that pick, and again, I prepped this ahead of time because I kind of, had a feel for what might happen. I thought Hill and CEH stack, well, not stack, that's not the term, but just having both of them would give me like a decent floor, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, because here's the thing. The nightmare for a lot of like Chiefs fantasy owners is like, oh, like CEH gets a rushing touchdown. Because then like Kelsey and Hill and Mahomes don't get any of that touchdown. So yeah, I just figured, and he was there was kind of a running back island there, and I wanted to just have a second running back early.
No, I understand that. But
So anyway,
he's
fast
definitely a
forward.
better fantasy player than an NFL player, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know.
He's
I don't
basically
think
been league average
yeah, on a
since he
high
entered
powered
the league.
offense.
But he's on the Chiefs, so he'll get
Yeah.
like and there's no competition.
Yeah.
Unless you're
I
a
mean,
Darrell
he
Williams.
loses 2-minute drill work to Darrell Williams.
Darrell
But,
Williams, just because he can't pass protect, but that's pretty much it.
yeah. All right, so let's fast forward. 4th rounds. So I have my personal rankings, right?
Okay.
I have Mahomes and McLaurin all by themselves, way above everyone else.
About to say Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. So I have I have McLaurin and Mahomes by themselves, way above everybody else, and I had to decide which one. So who do you think I pick?
Can't go all of them, the Chiefs. Did you go McLaurin?
I went McLaurin. And then you want to know the nastiest part of the whole draft?
You got Mahomes at the next pick?
Yeah, I did. I was with Taylor was on the podcast. So everybody in the league was on a Zoom call when we were drafting, but Taylor came over to my place and we were like drafting in the same room, and he was pick 7. So like because it was Snake, he just did his 4th round pick, then I picked McLaurin, and then I was gonna go get my 5th pick, and then 2 picks later he would get his, right? So I wasn't afraid to like tell him stuff because he wasn't gonna get a pick. So after the pick, I told him I was taking so long to decide between like McLaurin and Mahomes, but I figured like I already have 2 Chiefs and I want the second wide receiver, and I think with Fitzpatrick, McLaurin's gonna do really well this year. He'll keep it up. So yeah, I just decided to go with that. And then people kept picking, and Mahomes didn't get picked. And then eventually I got him with the 5th pick. And Taylor was so, I don't know if distraught's the right word, but he was just like, this is fucking bullshit. That, like, how does he always get away with it type deal,
It was a Mahomes-esque draft pick.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, so anyway, now I end up with a quarterback, receiver, and running back.
And you're making a trade for Travis Kelce. There.
Well, Taylor actually drafted Kelsey at 7. Can you imagine?
You're going to pick up DeMarcus Rowe, whoever. Yeah.
Just running through the rest. I drafted Ayuk in the 6th. I still believe. I still have faith. He's just like super talented, and I thought this could be his year. And maybe, if Lance starts playing halfway through and they have good chemistry or something, he could just pop off.
Wishful thinking. Okay.
I mean, but the dude's talented as fuck. And, he finally got like his first real like snap share not being shit last week from the injury. And he scored a touchdown and he had like 4 red zone looks. So, I mean, that's pretty good. All right. The true steal of the draft, even though Mahomes fell to the 5th for me, was TJ Hawkinson in the 7th.
Is that a
I'm excited
steal?
for him. Huh?
Is that a steal?
Yes? Are you out of your fucking mind?
When was he usually going? Where was he usually going? I feel like that's
he was
would go.
That was his ADP, but I don't think he should have been being drafted as ADP.
Well, that's not a steal. That's based on his
is.
value. That's his value, though.
Dude, he was super undervalued. And it's fucking okay, dude. In the 7th round, I got a tight end who scored 26 and 20 points in the first 2 weeks.
He had 3 last week.
Okay, I'm not going to deny that, but it's tight ends. It happens.
Yeah.
He's defenses and good defenses at that, especially in Baltimore, probably realized he's like kind of their only passing weapon, and so they're going to put a lot of focus on him to shut him down, but I don't give a fuck. Like, dude, Chicago next week? He's going to feast again. He's fucking good. I think Goff is competent enough. I don't know. I was super happy with that pick because I don't know. Dude, it can get okay. A lot of times also in our league, and I think this might be like coloring my perception of how good of a pick it was. A lot of times there are like tight end runs. And yeah, if you don't get a tight end in the first like 5 rounds, then you just end up with some. I don't know, almost like streaming level type shit. It's hard to find a consistent guy if you don't pick him early. Um, Historically in our league, that's just what's happened. So, all right, and then I drafted Harris before Cam was out, so that went up in value a little bit. He didn't look so good last week, but neither did the Patriots. I
He should be
drafted
fine.
Mostert, R.I.P. in peace.
Probably won't play. May not play football again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's long gone. I dropped him. I'm not picking him back up. I drafted Shark. I dropped him. I drafted Fuller. I dropped him. I drafted Drake. I think I dropped him. Uh, I drafted Justin Tucker in the 13th, which may seem a little goofy to take a kicker that early, but last week, guess what? I fucking won by less than 5.
Well, that kick should have been worth like 80 points.
Is that sick or what, though?
You should win your week if Justin Tucker sets a record. Like,
I don't disagree.
forget the rest of the points.
And,
Forget the rest of the points.
I mean, it did happen, so there's
Yeah, okay.
justice in this world. But yeah, I won by 4.08, and obviously there was a Justin Tucker kick, so what a fucking legend. I drafted Zach Moss in the 14th, and even though he was a surprise scratch last week, I'm starting him this week against Houston because the Bills are going to run it up, and eventually they're just going to give him the ball a billion fucking times, and he'll probably accidentally score a touchdown. And yeah, I drafted the Panthers defense the last pick, and then I don't even think I started them week 1. But I kind of knew they were going to, well, at least start off hot because
Yeah.
they played 3 garbage teams to start.
JC Horn's out. So,
I don't know. I haven't keeping up with them because, I mean, they're so hard to evaluate now because they've played combined record 0-9, right? So, like,
yeah.
are they good? I don't know. Play a real team. Who do they play this week?
Why is it not coming up? I tried to look that up. Dallas.
Oh, yeah. That'll be good.
Again, JC Horn is out, so I don't know.
Who's that? Is that a corner?
That's their corner that they drafted in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
Has looked good. Although they traded for CJ Henderson.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. The Jags didn't even get that much for him, but I guess they had a rookie who was playing well as too? Something like that?
I don't know. It's like a sunk cost, I think. Maybe Urban Meyer didn't like him. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they drafted.
Oh, another nasty thing that happened last week was I started the Cardinals defense. So that was cool. You know, we talked a little bit last time about how, like, you know, I haven't lost a playoff game, which, like, obviously contributes to my success, but a skill that is very relevant to fantasy that I've been and just am really good at is streaming defenses.
Yeah, that is a skill, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've always streamed defenses. I always will. And look, I got fucking 22.68 from Cardinals defense last week.
I mean, with the exception of like the 1 or 2 teams that get the surprise good defense, I don't see how you can't stream.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, I don't know. The guy I played last week played the football team and got negative 3.18. So,
Well, that defense has not been good this year.
true.
But if you started them last year,
Yeah. I think there are some defenses that you can just play every week. But anyway,
Well,
it's
like,
just funny.
like the Patriots 2 years ago, for like the
Yeah,
first half
yeah.
of the season. Like you can just accidentally your way into a good team. Like kind of like what you do with the Panthers. But then you have to know when to move on.
I never played the Panthers 1 week this year.
What I'm saying, you could have.
Oh, it would have been
The
all right.
scenario would have been you got the Panthers at the end of the draft, and then you had 3 great weeks, and then.
The best part, though, is obviously the Cardinals last week played the Jags, and so it was against Trevor Lawrence, which factored into my decision to play them a little because I think there are a lot of playmakers on the Cardinals. But then my opponent this week played the Bengals defense, who also played the Jags, and they did very poorly. And so, yeah, I just gave him a lot of shit and was like, why am I a fucking god?
Well, the Bengals defense isn't good.
Yeah, that's why that's the joke. I think it. Wait, here, let me just pull up the message.
They looked good. They looked, I guess, fine against Pittsburgh, but that's because it's Pittsburgh, which is also a mess in a different way.
I said, woke, starting a Cardinals defense full of playmakers against a vulnerable rookie QB. Broke, starting a bottom half Bengals defense against the best QB prospect since Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Where's the lie?
Lawrence looked better. I'm glad he's doing better now because.
Yeah, I mean, it's got nothing to do with him, right? He's on a trash fucking team with Urban Meyer as the head coach. Like, what the fuck is he supposed to do? But yeah, it was relieving to see him look better last game.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to wrap it up here, or?
Yeah, I think the last thing I'll say though is just that I fucking love this NFL season so far. It is just fucking chaotic, and that's super exciting, right? Like the Chiefs are 1-2 at the bottom of their division. Tell me how many universes that happens in, and the Raiders and Broncos are 3-0, and the reason why that's so good for football is because, okay, Monday Night Football this week, Raiders Chargers. That would have been, no matter what, just like a, rivalry game, like kind of too frisky, or like Chargers, I'll call a frisky team. Raiders, as I've said before on the podcast, are just a goofy team. You never know what Raiders you're going to get any given week. But now it's like, okay, either the Raiders start 4-0 and drop the Chargers to 500, or the Chargers go to 3-1 and they take hold of the division, and they already beat the Chiefs once. And that would just be insane, right? And so, and the Broncos are 3-0.
Still, yeah. So.
Well, yeah, they've played trash teams though. So it's like, are they legit or not? The AFC South is a total dumpster fire. Huh?
Kidding. I was gonna say they beat the Jets, but
who beat the Jets?
The Jets aren't the Broncos. The joke was the Jets aren't good.
No, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, they beat the Jets, Giants, and
Jaguars. Basically the same as the Panthers.
Yeah. Wow, that's weird. Yeah, and the Bills are on top of the division after losing 1 week. Oh, the Bengals are 3-1 now? Tell me about that.
Yeah, they're good.
Steelers looking bad. What's going on in the NFC? Honestly, okay, great year for Cowboys to be on Hard Knocks because I'm not fucking pissed that they're looking like they're going to win the NFC. I'm just like, all right, it's their turn. Whatever. Rams and Cards are 3-0. There's two divisions where two teams are 3-0. Wait, did they play this week?
I think they do. Yep.
Oh, see, look at this. It's just fucking amazing. The whole season's just awesome right now. I love it. So much parity in the league. Even the Lions, who are 0-3, have looked fucking awesome. Right?
As good as they can be, yeah.
They got totally gypped on the Justin Tucker record-setting field goal. They lost by 1 score to the 49ers week 1, and it was a shootout. And wait, what happened the second week? I don't remember.
They get the Bears though this week, so.
It was the Packers. I mean, oh yeah, they wait, didn't they play really well in the first half against the Packers? And then
really well, relatively speaking, yeah.
What was the box score?
Dude,
they were up 17-14 at half, and then they didn't score in the second half. So I'm just saying, like, that is good for the Lions against the Packers. The fact that they won a half. I mean, what more could you ask for if you're the Lions playing against Aaron Rodgers?
Yep, that's all you can ask for. All right, thanks. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I pulled up the Lions schedule to find out what happened week 2, and now it's like They play the Bears division game. They play the Vikings division game. Then they play the Bengals. That might actually be a good game. Then they play the Rams, which is like the Stafford Goff trade. It's just like, dude, anywhere you look, who would have thought at the beginning of the season that when I look at the Detroit schedule, I'm looking at their next 4 games and I'm thinking these are going to be fucking awesome. Man, football is just so dope. All right. I'm done now. I'm done.